bin's wieder, Kesunai Haram, hier mit meinem Let's Play von Felix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. Und beim letzten Mal haben wir mit der Episode, mit der Gerichtsverhandlung der letzten gestartet. Und jetzt haben wir Soren an der Glocke, den wir verhören müssen. Und er meint tatsächlich, dass er glaubt, dass Alan es gewesen ist. Dick. Und, ja. Jetzt müssen wir beweisen, dass es eine Möglichkeit gab, dass das Luftschiff, dass der Zeppelin zum Tatzeitpunkt nicht geflogen ist, sondern an der Stelle stehen blieb, sodass halt die Propeller sich nicht bewegt hat, sodass Soren an der Wand entlang kraxeln konnte, um dann zu Alan zu kommen und ihr zu helfen. Bei der Macht der Liebe! Also von wegen er glaubt, dass sie es gewesen ist. Also, come on. So, was wäre jetzt nun der Beweis, dass der Zeppelin nicht geflogen ist? Es klingt dumm, aber... Danke, Larry, für diese wunderschöne Zeichnung. This piece of evidence shows what was outside the airship at the time of the murder. What kind of lousy drawing is that? It's a drawing made by Larry Butts. And what can you prove with that poor attempt at artistry? Nun ja, was heißt hier arm? Man muss zugeben, der Kerl hat sich entwickelt, was Zeichnen angeht. Also, er kann es. Er kann es wirklich. Guckt es euch mal an, diese Details und... Oh. Also, mir gefällt's. Er kann zeichnen, der Mann. Larry made this drawing before he switched the lanterns. So it must have been right around when the murder was being committed. Now, if I could direct the court attention here. Is that a pterodactyl? Does that mean that the airship actually went back in time to the Cretaceous period?
Objection!
We've already proven that time travel is nothing more than a gimmick, did we not? We did, and I have no intention of bringing up that argument again. But this drawing shows us an important piece of information. It shows us that the airship was actually moored on the ground. And what makes you so sure? That's easy. All you have to do is consider who made this drawing. Larry. That's right, it was Mr. Butts, and we both know what he's like. He must have seen something else and mistaken it for a pterodactyl. I can't argue with you there. Hey! What just 1 second here? What kind of moron do you guys take me for? I saw it with my own eyes! A pterodactyl flew right by the window, I tell you! I have the sharp eyes of an artist! Don't you believe me? No. Nick! Nope. Some friends you guys are! What about the judge? Do you believe me? Right, Your Honor? I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you need to leave this courtroom! Bailiff, if you would! Come on, buddy, let's go. Why doesn't anybody believe me? Don't take it personally, Larry. I know you're just being, well, you. No then, so you're saying that what Mr. Butts really saw bears some relation to what was outside the airship at the time of the murder? Yes, Your Honor. At least I think it does. What this pterodactyl really is will prove the airship was anchored at the mooring dock. It had been better, anyway. If it doesn't, my whole argument is a bust. If you're that confident about it, then please go ahead and tell us what it really was! Yes, Your Honor. Think, Phoenix. What could that Pterodactyl have actually been? Da sehen wir es doch gerade. Hier, dieses Schild. Einmal umdrehen mit den Konturen und schon haben wir diesen vermeintlichen Pterodactyl. Please take a good look at the sign. At the sign? It appears to have been broken and then repaired. But what does the sign have to do with the pterodactyl? Please focus on this part of the sign. The part that broke off and got reattached! What about it? How about if we turn it right like this? Ooh, that shape! It's the pterodactyl in the drawing! What Mr. Butts actually saw was this chunk as it was being blown through the air by wind. What? Wind. Oh, jetzt muss ich schon wieder daran denken. Fucking Soul Calibur. Wind. On the day of the murder, there were some heavy winds in the area of the mooring dock. Wind. But this had to imagine that this sign would make it up as high as an airship would fly. That means the flying chaparral must have been anchored at the mooring dock that night. Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket?
Objection.
That's more than enough of this power of love nonsense, you pop culture junkie. Present all the proof you want, but your argument is based far too much in conjecture. Why don't we return to reality now? What do you mean, too much conjecture? Even if the airship wasn't flying, that alone doesn't prove the witness went along the wall. True! Even though it's no more than a possibility! Then how do you propose Mr. Sprocket got to the Vista deck, Mr. Edgeworth? I noticed something as I went over the evidence. Please take a look at this hold entry record. What about it? I don't see Mr. Sprocket listed on here anywhere. Don't you remember? On yesterday's session, we had a very similar kind of argument. Did we? Honestly, Mr. Wright, are you going senile already? We talked about Larry Butts using the defendant's keycards to enter the hold. Oh, we did talk about that, didn't we? Larry... In other words, even if a person's name isn't on the entry record, it's still possible for that person to have entered by using someone else's keycard. Ah! Mr. Sprocket, you entered the hold with Mr. Nicody, didn't you? I did. What? Why did you tell us that in the first place? Pierce is indispensable. I didn't want to mention him unnecessarily and risk having him wrongly accused. I couldn't do without him. Mr. Sprocket, I asked that you testify in greater detail about your movement that night! Seriously, Junge. The truth is, I went to the Vista deck with Pierce. That's why my name doesn't appear on the hold entry record. I was badly injured from being stabbed, but I was frantic. By the time we reached the scene, it was all over. Well, this doesn't help me one bit. Mr. Sprocket, you've concealed information from us time and time again. Who do you think you are, treating this court of law with such irreverence? That being said, I do appreciate the testimony you gave just now. Thanks to you, we now know why your name doesn't appear on the entry record. Now there are no more inconsistencies in the witness testimony. That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. He never leaves a loose end dangling. You okay, Nick? I wouldn't exactly call the situation okay. Somehow I have to coax the information we need for an opening out of him. If I even can, that is. Wenn wir's überhaupt können. Ganz richtig. Jesus Christ, Junge. Herzverhör. The truth. Bist du sicher, dass das die Wahrheit ist, Junge? Bombenangriff. You didn't mention this because you didn't want Mr. Nicody to fall under suspicion? Is that because he has something to hide? I just didn't want the police to take up his time with all their questions, that's all. Neither the company nor the household would function smoothly without him. I see. Wow, it sounds like Pierce is absolutely indispensable to the Sprockets. Anyway, getting back to your statement. When did you meet up with Mr. Nicody? We met up on my way to the Vista deck. I think Pierce and some of my relatives were on another floor. But Pierce heard the commotion and came running to my aid. He could hear the pandemonium all the way from another floor? Mr. Wright, would you like the court statement added to the witness testimony? Ja, komm. Yes, please, Your Honor. Very well! Pierce heard the commotion and he came running. Okay, das lassen wir dann aber auch wieder erstmal in Ruhe. Und springen zu dieser Aussage. Bombenangriff! Speaking of your injury, how are you doing now? The knife wound is deep and continues to throb with pain. Fortunately, my internal organs were spared. But one wrong move would have spelled the end for me there. Even so, I've seen you up and about all over the place since the incident. I'm only following my doctor's orders to perform some daily light exercises. Mr. Wright! Would you like Mr. Sprocket's statement about his condition added to his testimony? Not that it appears especially relevant to me! Should I have him add it to his testimony? Ja, tatsächlich! Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to have it added to his testimony. I see! Very well! The knife wound is quite deep and continues to throb with pain. Da hat sich nämlich auch schon wieder verhaspelt. Der meinte nämlich, das sei eine Wunde hinzugefügt durch ein Messer. Wir wissen es aber besser. Nämlich hat die Spitze dieses Kerzenständers ihn verletzt. Also, come on, Junge. Hör auf zu lügen. Mr. Sprocket, you just said your injury is a knife wound, didn't you? But the weapon you were stabbed with was this candelabra. A fact I know you're quite aware of. Very well. This is what I heard directly from Master Soren himself. As you surmised, Master Soren was stabbed by Bloomsbury on the day of the murder. It happened after the first wedding reception. The happy couple was in the reception hall when, suddenly, Bloomsbury appeared. He attacked Miss Ellen and tried to take her away. Master Soren went to stop him, and found himself in a struggle with Bloomsbury. That is when Master Soren was stabbed with the candelabra, he said. Nah.
Objection.
It must have been a simple memory slip that made him misspeak. It happens to everyone. It has nothing to do with the case. You must be pretty desperate to point out something so minute. We have to agree, Mr. Wright! You hardly need to make such a big deal over such a small mistake! But I contend that it's an important inconsistency. Besides, I couldn't find anything else. This is the only thing I have to go after. Also, bitch, shut up! And I say it's not important. Now, let's not waste any more time on this matter. I agree! Everybody has a little memory lapse every now and then! But Your Honor, please let me explain. But can you? Can you really explain to this court what makes this slip so important? Yes, I can, Your Honor. After all, it was Soren himself who told Pierce that he had been stabbed by a candelabra. This is more than a simple memory slip. There has to be some kind of reason for it. Well, Mr. Wright, please explain why the witness slip of the tongue is so important. The point to focus on here is why the witness would mistake the weapon used to stab him. Think careful, Phoenix. This could very well change the course of the trial. I see, so why did the witness make that mistake, Mr. Wright? Mr. Sprocket identified the wrong weapon used against him because... Wenn wir mal hier seine Reaktion von ausgehen, wie er dann hier in seinem Buch rumgeblättert hat. Und er war ja, wenn wir uns noch wieder mal vor Augen halten hier, dass er all die ganzen Sachen hier aufschreibt, die er erlebt hat, also so bis ins kleinste Detail. Was wäre, wenn er schlichtweg einfach keine Erinnerung mehr daran hat? He doesn't remember the incident, let alone the weapon used against him. Not only that, but I believe Mr. Sprocket has some sort of memory disorder. Therefore, the defense contends that Mr. Sprocket's testimony thus far is invalid.
Objection.
Just because you can't find a flaw in his testimony, you want to throw it all out? Your baseless claim is nothing but pure slander of the witness' character. His judgment is correct, Mr. Wright! Can you explain your ground for making this claim? Of course, Your Honor. Think of what Soren has said, how he's behaved. That's where I'll find a clue. Very well, let's hear your argument then! War das mein Handy? Nein. Hab ich mich verhört. My grounds for claiming that Mr. Sprocket has a memory disorder is... Haben wir auch schon erwähnt hier. Sein ach so geliebtes Notizbuch. The notebook he always has with him. I saw daily events and information about the people around him recorded in it. Like a diary, perhaps? No, Your Honor, it's much too detailed to be an ordinary diary. It's more on the order of a database, actually. A database, you say? That's right. For some reason, Mr. Sprocket is apparently unable to retain memories. That's why he writes every little detail of his life down in his notebook.
Objection.
How could you possibly know that for sure? He might just be an extremely compulsive person. I thought so too myself, at first. To be honest, we accidentally got a stain on that notebook yesterday. You mean you got a stain on it? Hey! You're the one who tried to grab it out of my... Never mind whose fault it was. Just get to the point already. Right, sorry. Schrei mich nur nicht an. Mr. Sprocket. The page Miss Fay got a stain on yesterday. That's the page with the details of your stabbing on it, isn't it? No, I only write in this notebook because I'm very compulsive. Now, drop the subject already. Sorry, but I'm not convinced. I noticed an odd fact about your notebook, Mr. Sprocket. On the earlier page, you used it to write down invention ideas. But after a certain date, you started writing down a lot more in much more detail. I believe your memory disorder stems from what happened on that date. Something so monumental it caused a memory disorder, Mr. Wright? You don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, but I do know what I'm talking about. And this is the proof. This is the thing that caused Mr. Sprocket's memory disorder. Wir wissen ja, dass es dann am 8. März passiert ist. Und was geschah noch am 8. März? Der Unfalltod seiner Schwester. You were involved in this car accident too, weren't you, Mr. Sprocket? And the shock of losing your beloved older sister is what caused you to develop your memory disorder. Is this true, Mr. Sprocket? Well, is it? Mr. Sprocket! It's true. That accident did something on my mind. What? Ever since that day, every time I go to sleep, I lose my memories. And when I wake up, the most recent thing I can remember is the day I lost my sister. It's as if I'm constantly going back in time. What? That's truly tragic! An inconsolable time traveler who goes back in time whenever he goes to sleep. Besides, time travelers do exist, you know? But you wouldn't understand. So that's what Soren meant. He was talking about himself. The reactions of the people around me each time I awoke made me aware of my condition. That's why I decided to write everything down in my notebook, so I could move forward. So the only memories you have since that day are the ones written in that notebook. That's right. And since the page about your stabbing got stained, you couldn't read from it, could you? There's just one more thing I'd like you to clarify for me, Mr. Sprocket. Exactly what are your feelings toward the victim? Mr. Sprocket's feelings toward the most gooseberry? That's right, Your Honor. The witness said that every time he wakes up from sleep, his mind goes back to the day his sister died. Mr. Wright, you can't mean... Mr. Sprocket! Your pent-up feelings of anger and resentment towards Mr. Bloomsbury for the accident were renewed each and every time you woke, were they not? But you couldn't take it anymore, so you turned to murder. Isn't that right? What? Mr. Wright, are you saying that the witness murdered Mr. Bloomsbury for revenge? Ugh. Well, Mr. Sprocket. Miss Wyatt. Your Honor, I did it. I killed Mr. Bloomsbury. No! What? Alan, was tust du da? Miss Wyatt, what are you trying to do? Don't tell me you're still thinking of going that route! Sorry is innocent! He can't be found guilty! Take me instead! Alan, please, try and get a hold of yourself! I guess she really meant it. Das kannst du nicht ernst meinen, Alan. Please. My sorry didn't do anything wrong. I'm the one who should be convicted. Only to understand that you're confessing your guilt! No! No, wait just a minute here. Alan, why would you cover for me? After I testified that I thought you must killed him. I admit, I couldn't believe my ears at first. But all I want is for you to be happy. Your happiness is my happiness, Soren. But without my notebook, I'd even forget those feelings of yours by tomorrow. Knowing that, do you still feel this way? You've loved me all this time. The same you did before the accident. That's how I know that you're the same person I've always loved. No disorder can change that. Alan. Your Honor, there are 2 things I'd like to correct. 2 corrections! What are they? First of all, I want to withdraw one of my statements. That's right. Dumas was killed by Alan. Without memories to rely on, I took the police completely at their word. You can't be serious! So that means Soren never really doubted Alan in the first place, did he, Nick? Alan really does love Soren with all of her heart. But in order to save her, I'll still have to go after Soren. I hope you can forgive me, Alan. And what is your other correction, Mr. Sprocket? The truth is, I never felt anger or resentment towards Dumas about my sister. What? Why not? Das ist jetzt interessant. Wieso kann er Dumas nicht hassen, selbst wenn das passiert ist? Ich meine, ist ja klar, dass es ein Unfall ist. Er kann ja nichts für. Aber, mein Gott, Menschen. Menschen bauen Scheiße und er ist auch ein Mensch. Also, wie kommt das bitte? Das erfahren wir wohl erst nächste Woche wieder. Egal, positiv oder negativ, Bewertung mal gern gesehen, da war's von meiner Seite. Wir sehen uns das nächste Mal wieder. Sehr geil!